Welcome back to the Spent Brass channel, guys. Pistol Pete here, bringing you what I think is going to be a really cool, fun video. Most of you guys probably don't know this, but I'm kind of an AK guy. I collect AKs. I belong to the AK Files forum, have been for a long time, and I belong to some different Facebook groups that are kind of AK oriented too. And on one of those Facebook groups, it was a Arizona AK group, I came across this company. They're called Xtech Tactical. They're actually their headquarters, where these are manufactured, just happens to be Arizona, which I thought was kind of cool. And they were releasing these new polymer steel reinforced mags. They have steel reinforced feed lips and locking lugs. They're kind of like a next generation US palm mag, if you guys haven't already seen some of the videos out there and stuff on these. With some improvements over the US palm mag, you can take these down. I think they might be a little bit slimmer than the old US palm mags, but so the guys were making some lofty claims about these, basically putting a challenge out there to break them and put them through testing and stuff like that. So I thought, what better topic for a Spent Brass video for us to make, right? So instead of just testing the Xtech Tactical Mag though, I wanted to run it up against some competitive options, namely a Magpul. This is the latest one, the M3, I think they call it. It's steel reinforced locking lugs, but not steel reinforced lip mag. To add that into the mix, I wanted to put it up against a Bulgarian Circle 10 to see if it, stacked up to kind of the gold standard. And of course, for you guys who aren't familiar with these, they have a polymer body, steel reinforced locking lugs and lips. And one that also just kind of came to my attention recently. This is a Bulgarian Commercial, and this has steel lips like the old Bulgarian Commercials did, but this one also has steel locking lugs front and rear, which is kind of neat. And this is also only 15 bucks. So the idea was we would get these out there and we would kind of give them a comparison, run the Xtech, give it a run for its money, see how it compared to the other mags, and do kind of a value equation type of conversation at the end of the video to see how it held up and what they're worth and all that. First, we're going to measure and compare. We're going to break out the calipers, compare a Yugo bolt hold open, a Circle 10 mag, and the Xtech mag in terms of how wide they are, because I have a feeling the Xtech's a little wider. We're going to see how they do in terms of weight. Then I'm going to test them in a bunch of my AKs just to see how the Xtech fits in all the mag wells. Just check it generally for fitment. If it clicks in, check it for wobble, make sure it's secure in there. Then we're going to go to the hideout, which is my range. Then all the crew from the channel shoots out there. And we are going to bash the crap out of this mag. We're going to take it to its breaking point. I can tell you, we've actually already shot that footage. We had a lot of fun shooting it, probably one of our most fun videos ever. So I think you guys are going to enjoy that. Very surprising results, so stay tuned for that. Couple things before we get into that though that I think are really important things to mention. First off, we have an extra one of these AK-47 mags from Xtech Tactical. We're going to be giving it away to one of our subscribers. So we're going to do a drawing at the end of September, and if you're a subscriber, you're automatically entered. The only things we require are we need you to be in the continental US, and you can't be in a banned state. Obviously, I can't go shipping 30-round mags to like banned states and stuff, guys. I don't want to go to jail. So hit subscribe if you haven't already, and you'll be entered in to win one of these Xtech Tactical mags. Pretty cool. The last thing I wanted to mention is I assume we're going to have some people who might not have tuned into our channel before for this video. So I wanted just to mention that we have nothing to gain financially from this. I paid for the Xtech mag and all the other magazines with my own money. Our YouTube channel isn't even monetized, so we have nothing to make. Our fuel, our time, all those things came out of our own resources and pockets. So no financial gain here, whether this thing dominates or does poorly. I really don't have any skin in the game on that. Just want you guys to know that we're not some shill channel. We do these things and we make these videos for fun and because we want to share, what we learn and some of the stuff that we do with you guys out there. So on that note, let's bust out the calipers and the scale, do a quick comparo, and then go out to, we'll also check fitment in some AKs, and then we'll run out to the hideout and have a lot of fun. Stay tuned. OPAP. Wasser 10. Mini Draco. Polish 1960 milled. Draco. SLR 101S, AMD 65. How about a Vepr 1V? Arsenal SLR 107 FR. Armory USA SSR 85C2. Arsenal SLR 107 UR. Polytech Galil style side folder. Vepr FM. Arsenal SLR 107 CR. Micro Draco. First up, let's check if the Mag 47 fits in a Chinese style chest rig. Okay, looks like it goes in pretty good. Yep. I'm gonna call that no problem. I do have mags on either side of this just to kind of make it realistic. Alright, up next, let's try my run gun chest rig. This is a Condor. It's not anything fancy, but it works really well. I've used it a bunch of run guns, nothing's ever broken on it. Fits AK mags and AR mags, which I really like. So I've got a couple AK mags in here just to you know, simulate what it would be like to put this thing in and out. Seems to fit okay. Definitely comes out easy. Yep. I'm gonna call that good. Alright guys, let's try some more of the ComBlock stuff. I don't know the origin of any of these. I just don't, you know, have that level of expertise. But I have a bunch of different AK mag pouches I picked up at gun shows. Let's do this first one. I think it's Romanian, but I'm not sure. Maybe Polish. But I think it's gonna fit pretty easy. Yeah. Yeah, that one is pretty loose, so that fit pretty easy. Came out pretty easy. Alright guys, here's another one. I don't actually know the origin of this one either. This is actually a 5-cell mag pouch. And I was able to get the Xtech mag in, but I was only able to do it with 4 mags. So I actually tried with the steel mags. I can fit 5 steel mags in here. One of my holding place mags is either a Toth tool. Yeah, there's a Toth tool. So even one poly mag in here is making it so I can't fit 5. It will fit 5 steel, but it won't fit 5 with any poly. It does come in and out of the bag or the pouch fine, but you can't fit 5 in this one. You can only fit 4 if you're running any of the polymer stuff. Alright guys, here's another 4-cell mag pouch. I think this one's gonna work. I've got a couple other mags in there. One poly Toth tool poly mag, which is a replica Circle 10. We'll see those more as the video goes on. And a couple steel mags. Yeah, it slid right in. I haven't used this one, so it's a little tight, but yep, looks like it's gonna close. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is East German. Like I said, I really don't know a lot about these, so if you do know, feel free to comment for everybody else's information. But yeah, that one fits. Alrighty, so we've got another 4-cell. This one's side by side. I've got one poly and a couple steels in there. We'll see if the Xtech will fit. And this is one I've used a couple times, you know, out in the field screwing around on running guns and stuff, so it's a little bit more broken in than the other one, which is like vinyl or pleather. Yeah, this one fits pretty good. A little tight, but definitely the mag slid right in. Let's see how it comes back out. Yeah, no issues, so I'm gonna call it good to go on that one. I have a couple more of these, but at this point I think I got a pretty good idea that this will fit in most mag pouches. It is a little bit bigger in terms of, like, you know, width than a steel mag. Here, I'll compare it to this this Hugo bolt hold open mag. You can see that it's just this one right here with the perforated follower is the Xtech. You can see that it's just a little bit wider. So after testing those mag pouches, I thought it'd be cool to break out the calipers and see if these Xtech mags are actually wider than other mags at all, if at all. and I chose a Yugo bolt hold open steel mag to represent steel magazines, and I chose a Bulgarian Circle 10 magazine to represent, you know, like other, maybe the gold standard and poly mags, we'll call it. So let's see what the calipers read on these. The Yugo bolt hold open reads 1.008 inches, or now 1.009. I think it said 1.004. Well, I actually had it on the mag, but I'm going to call that almost exactly an inch in width. If you give it a little squeeze, it goes down to 1.004. Now we'll try the Bulgarian Circle 10 mag. I can already tell you that the Bulgarian Circle 10 is a little bit broader than Yugo bolt hold open. I'm going to call the Circle 10 mag about 1 1/8 inches because it's reading 1.140. So it's about 1/8 of an inch, you know, like, yeah, something like that, over the steel mag. Now let's try the Xtech mag. Looks like it's going to be a little bit broader than the Bulgarian Circle 10 mag. Looks like it's coming in at about 1.25 inches, 1.23. I'm knocking my reading off when I take the caliper off, guys, but it's about 1.238, 1.25. So it's about 1.25 inches. So you're looking at about 1/4 inch wider than a steel mag, and you know, a little bit wider than Circle 10 mag. All right, so the steel AK mag is a little bit narrower than the Circle 10, and the Circle 10 is a little bit narrower than the Xtech. What about weight? Let's see how they weigh out. I've got my handy dandy scientific scale here. Hopefully you guys can see the numbers. This Yugo bolt hold open mag is 0.816 pounds. So that's about 0.8 pounds. I could definitely tell that the Xtech's going to be lighter than that. The Circle 10 mag comes in at 0.536 pounds. Hopefully you guys can see that on tape, but it's 0.536 pounds for the Circle 10. I really don't know if the Xtech's going to be any lighter than the Circle 10 or heavier, but the tail of the tape is 0.514. So the Xtech is actually slightly lighter. You know, I would argue indetectable amount by a person, but you know, it hovers right around that 0.02 of a pound lighter than a Circle 10. Technically it's lighter than a Circle 10, so for you guys who are obsessed with weight, it looks like the Xtech mag is a pretty good option compared to steel for sure, and technically even lighter than a Circle 10. Alright guys, we're out at the hideout. We got the Xtech Mag 47. We're going to run it through my SLR 107 just to make sure that it runs. Alpha Cub will be doing the honors. Killed it. Both eyes on that thing. There you go. All right. Just for shits and giggles and because we can, we're going to run the Xtech mag in a full auto. This is a dealer post sample full auto AK. Alpha Cub will be doing the honors. Xtech in the suppressed Mini Draco. Cool guys, so we thought we'd start out with some drop testing. What we're going to do is we're going to drop the Xtech. We're also going to drop a Bulgarian Circle K and a couple other players to see what happens. We're going to rate this as a pass, which is a drop and there's nothing happens. A drop and lose rounds, we'll just keep count of the rounds. A drop and a break is a fail, obviously, right? So we're going to start here. I'm going to start with a Circle 10 mag. We're going to start about shoulder height. I think that's about right. I don't see any damage on this. She looks good. A little dirty, but what else is new? One round looked like it was going to fall out. This is actually a new, this is one of the new Bulgarian Commercial Mags that has steel reinforced lugs and lips. So we'll see how this guy does. Now I know with the clear Bulgarian Commercial Mags, if you did that on a loaded mag, it would definitely break. Those are junk. But these ones with the steel lips have actually worked pretty good for me at the range, and I'm excited to try out the new ones with the locking lugs. I'm going to call that a pass. Let's see, we already did the Circle 10. Alright, we're going to mix in a Magpul. This is the latest gen Magpul. I think they call it an M3. This has the steel reinforced locking areas, but not lips. So I get a feeling this one's going to drop some rounds out there. Maybe not. Looking at it, no damage whatsoever. Looks pretty good. No cracks and anything on the lips. Rounds didn't even unseat. That's good. And then finally, star of the show is the Xtech Tactical 30 round mag. This one actually, you can see just before we start, you can see it's got a little bit of the polymer was wearing away there just from doing all the inserts. You guys probably at this point in the video would have already seen I tested this in a bunch of guns. Go a little over there. And it looks pretty good. I don't see any damage. Nothing that wouldn't cause it to work. Alright, well now we're going to move to the next phase of testing, and we're going to keep ramping it up as we go along. Alright, so we're going to be doing some drop tests on the magazine while inserted in a gun, and then we're going to fire it out of the gun. The unlucky candidate for this test is a Romanian Draco pistol that's got a muzzle extension pinned and welded on, and a underfolder stock installed by the dudes over at Kilo Guns. This is kind of like my truck AK, so dropping it a couple times isn't gonna hurt my feelings too bad. So we're gonna fire the gun off a couple rounds after each drop and then clear the chamber. Right now the chamber is clear, so let's start with the Circle 10 mag. What do you guys say? Just like this?
Yeah.
It's a good hard drop. Alright. Check her out. What I can show you is that there's some pretty good scratches in the bottom of the Circle 10 mag. Some dirt, but everything looks good. Feed lips are fine, and it fed and shot 5 rounds fine. So I'm going to say Circle 10 round passes. Let's try this new let's try the new Bulgarian Commercial with the steel lugs. I expect this one will work too. She's clear. I like how everybody backs off even though the gun's clear. Alright, drop it from, is this good? Let me get the sling out of the way. Don't want it skewing our results here. Good. Alright, that might have not been quite as hard as that other one. Looks good. There's a lot of dirt. Divot. There's a lot of dirt inside the gun right now, actually. That was 7 rounds, but she's a runner.
That's at 6.2 on the ground.
I don't see any anything that would cause me not to be able to use this mag, so I'm calling it good. This is the Bulgarian Commercial with the new one with its feed lips and reinforced lugs. So up next is the one that I have a little bit of a personal bias against, is the Magpul. This is Gen M3, which I think is actually like a Gen 2 or something like that, whatever. It's got the steel reinforced lugs, but not the lips. So we'll see if this one goes. All right. First off, this mag is a little bit stiffer. I've never put this mag. This mag's brand new. It's never been fired before, and you can see that it sheared a little bit of polymer off the mag as I put it in the mag well. It's super tight. There's no side-to-side play. Action's clear. Tuck this bitch back in here. Good. I gave that a little bit extra, I think, but it looks like it did okay. Check her out. You know, it's funny, it didn't really scratch up the plastic at all. Just a little bit on the rear there. The metal actually, it took a little bit more damage on the Circle 10 mag than the plastic seemed to. Lips look fine. No damage to the lugs. Maybe that's too easy of a test. I think we're gonna have to go ramping it up throughout the day. So finally, what do we got left? We got the Xtech Mag 47. Same test. Good height. Alright, that's a pretty solid hit. Some dirt. A lot of dirt in the action of the gun. Fed. The mag release was a little bit stiff on that, but let's see. Yeah, just some scratches on the bottom, and otherwise it looks fine. So now I think we got to start stepping it up a little bit. I don't think we obviously haven't broken any of these mags yet, so I think we've got to maybe start pushing these to the limit a little bit more. Alright, so me and the guys are talking. All 4 of these mags so far passed these tests. So we were talking about stepping it up. I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use a hard object to simulate dropping a mag in an urban warfare environment, as opposed to the soft, supple dirt here at the hideout. So let's start out with the Magpul. Same height. We're starting at the same height. That was a good hit. Definitely takes a lot more bounce to it. Looks fine. Didn't lose any rounds. I was expecting this one to lose a couple rounds, but okay. Looks good.
Peak.
All right, Circle 10. $45 mag dropping it on the ground. I feel a little bad about this, but it's in the name of science. Ooh, let's get a close-up of this, Phil. We have a halfway ejected round. Now, that's about the extent of damage that we've had so far. But just wanted to say, hey, look at this one. Fell really hard. Doesn't look like it did anything to the mag, but we did a halfway ejected round. So there's science for you. All right, Tony. All right, next up, we got the Bulgarian Commercial Mag with the steel lips and lugs. Let's see how this bad girl does. Okay, that was a rock, not a piece that fell off the magazine. You know, there's some inconsistency in how these are hitting the brick, guys, but overall, I mean, this looks like it's fine. No rounds came out, nothing. What's funny is that Circle 10 mag, when it went down, it just dropped in like flat. It didn't bounce or anything, so it must be the way I'm dropping it, but Let's move over to the Xtech star of the show, guys. Let's see how it does against a brick. It's funny, that one fell flat a lot more like the, there's a little bit of deformation here, but that might be from inserting in guns. Fell flat like the Circle 10 mag and just kind of flopped, but didn't lose any rounds, so I guess that's a pass. All right, I guess we got to keep stepping our game up. Let's see what happens when we bring them up a little higher.
Go.
All right, so far all the mags have held together, so we decided to take science to the next level. To be precise, we're on top of what we call the elevated shooting platform, aka the Lug Shack. So let's see what we got first. First we got the Bulgarian Circle 10 mag. We're going to start by dropping it in the dirt, and then if everything passes, we're going to drop it on the brick and step it up again. So, all right, Circle 10 mag, here we go. Ooh, with authority. Doesn't look like any rounds fell out. Let's try another one. Whoop, low ball. All right, up next is the Xtech. It fell in a lizard hole, but it looks okay. I don't think we've dropped any rounds. Okay, Bulgarian Commercial. Try to get this one over to the left a little so it doesn't hit the other mags. Still didn't lose any rounds. And the P-Mag. Come on, P-Mag, break. That looks good. Alright, let's get an eyeball on these real quick. Alright, so bruised and dusty, but they all look like they're holding together. First was the Circle 10 mag. Is that a crack? No, that's just some flashing. I don't see anything wrong with the Circle 10 mag. I think next was the Xtech. Alright, she looks good. Nobody dropped any rounds, which I'm pretty impressed by. Then what do we got here? The Bulgarian Commercial. Lips held up. I kind of feel like a break back here is possible, but it's held together, so that's kind of what I was expecting. It's like, this one looks like it got hit back here. This is the Magpul. Looks like it's together. All right, guys, so let's see how they do against a brick. All right, so we're stepping it up. We're on top of the elevated shooting platform, aka the Lug Shack, and we're going to start dropping these on a brick to kind of, I think the general consensus is that these mags should break while bouncing off this brick. So we'll see. Hopefully I can hit the brick. Ooh, that was hard. Didn't eject any rounds. That was the Circle 10. Here's the Magpul. Oh, dude.
That's one.
All right, so in fairness, that hit it kind of a funny angle, but I mean, it definitely lost some rounds. We'll have to give that a closer eyeball in a minute. Bulgarian Commercial. Ooh, vicious hit, but didn't drop any rounds. That's a good sign. Xtech, this one's for the money. Ooh, hard hit. Let's get a closer look at these guys. First off, let's see what's going on with this Magpul mag here. So you can see that it hit the brick at kind of a screwed up angle, which, you know, it is what it is, guys. We're not wearing lab coats out here. But you can see what the problem is here. And that's that the lips of the magazine actually expanded, and they expanded enough when it hit at that angle to let the rounds jump out. So while that was maybe a more brutal hit than the other mags because it was right on the edge like that, this is a good example of why the Magpul mag is a fail, and that's because it doesn't have reinforced feed lips. So I'll be donating this to Alpha Cat Armory probably after the video because he seems to love Magpul mags. So he can enjoy this down the road, but for me, this is why the Magpul mags without the reinforced feed lips are a fail. All right, let's see what's going on with this Xtech mag. You can see where it took a pretty brutal hit here on the body. I don't see any cracks. I mean, this is a pretty extreme test. That's fairly high, counting my shoulder height and up on the top of that platform.
It doesn't even look like the bullet went forward.
No, they're in there. And there's, you can hear it. There's like sand and dirt in these already, so we'll probably have to take them out and clean them before, if this stays in my mag stable. But I'm gonna call that a pass for the Xtech. Let's see what else we got. Circle 10, how'd you make out? I don't see any cracks in the body. You can see that the bullet, one of the bullets popped forward a little bit, so if we tried to run this in a gun, there's a chance it wouldn't run. But it doesn't look like it cracked. So it's still a pass, I'd say, don't you think?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's still a pass. The feed lips held together. And what do we got left? The budget option, the Bulgarian Commercial Mag with the reinforced lips and lugs. This one took a really hard hit too. And it's, nothing's wrong with it. You can't even barely tell it's dropped. So pretty impressed by that. All right, shoot. Well, what are we gonna do next? We gotta take it up. Like, what are we gonna do? We'll figure it out. All right, so after we put our heads together and chatted, guys, we figured there's probably a lot of Magpul sympathizers out there. So we decided we'd give the Magpul Mag another chance and see if we could get it a drop that was more on the flat on the side of the mag. So here we go. Round 2 for the Magpul. Phil, you zoomed in?
Yep.
I'm dropping it flat, but it seems to fall with that face down like that. Do you see? Like I'm dropping it flat, but it just falls that way.
Center them again and try one more time real quick. See what happens. So you can get a couple cuts, see what you want to do.
Oh, dude, it hit right up on the front, didn't it?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna just drop it as flat as I can. This is test number 3. It lost another round. So, you know what's funny is, guys, even though that was probably the fairest drop compared to the other ones, the Magpul Mag, still without having those reinforced feed lips, as you can, I don't know if you guys can see that on camera, but this magazine has a ton of grit and gravel already in there. But yeah, the lack of reinforced feed lips on the Magpul is definitely makes it a less durable mag than any of the other 3 that we tested. I mean, it's pretty much inarguable at this point.
And what's the price on that mag? Street price, retail?
You know, I'll have to go back and check, but check this out. It actually looks like the steel started to separate from the, can you see that? Right at the tip of this bullet. It looks like the steel that was attached to the body has started to separate out a little bit. See how it, oop, yeah, look at that. See how it's not broken out on that side?
Feeding anymore. Look.
Yeah, the spring is jammed.
The followers, well,
yeah.
You got a little pebble in there.
Yeah, I mean, they're dirty, but look at this. Yeah. See how the frame has started to detach from the mag body? I'm gonna call that a fail, a big time fail. So I'm gonna say at this point we're gonna exclude the Magpul Mag from the rest of the testing. We'll move on with the Xtech, the Bulgarian Commercial, and I guess we'll keep beating up on my expensive Circle 10. Did I call it a Circle K Mag before?
Yeah.
So I have a tendency to call them Circle K Mags. I think that's really funny. So we'll continue on with the Circle K Mag, and we'll figure things out from there, but I'm going to call Magpul shit the bed.
That's a mag dump.
Magpul Mag dump.
All right, so at this point we know that the PMag has in fact failed out of the test, but how badly has it failed? Is this still functional? Well, the answer is it was tight before, now it won't even fit in the mag well, and the reason why is the body of the mag has started to separate from the steel frame in the mag, so that's a pretty bad fail for Magpul. All right, to further accommodate the Magpul sympathizers, AlphaCat has agreed to donate a regular MOE AK mag. We started talking about the M3 Magpul mag and the fact that the metal separating from the polymer, the metal frame separating from the polymer, is ultimately what caused it to fail. So the question became, well, would a regular all polymer Magpul mag do the same thing, or would it do better or worse? So we're going to add one of these to the mix just for science. We're going to do a dirt drop with it first to see if it passes that, and also to simulate kind of what the other mags went through so it's in the same condition. If it passes that, we'll hit the cement. On with the show. Looks good. You want to toss me that? Yeah. Didn't lose any rounds, huh?
Didn't lose any rounds. They haven't been displaced or anything.
No cracks, nothing. Okay, extra drop. We'll edit that out. So, all right. Feels good, looks good. Let's see how it does against the cement. I don't know if it's the aerodynamic deficiency of the Magpul mags, but they seem to fall with the front down. I don't know why that is. Maybe I don't know. It almost landed in the exact same spot as the other one. See the hit there? Now the lips don't look to have cracked. We lost half a round, which isn't bad. Fell right back in. Lips don't seem to be too deformed to work. I mean, that's a pass. You could argue that the MOE test in this highly scientific environment did better. Yeah, I guess we can try and see if it fits in an AK. You hear all that grit? Fits really tight. Looks like it's in there. I don't have ears, so I'm not going to fire this right now, but I don't see why this wouldn't fire. I have no reason to believe why this wouldn't fire, so there's a little bit of science for you. All right, so in light of the recent events, we've decided to take the P-Mag, the MOE AK mag from Magpul, with no reinforcements and try it in a drop test in an AK. So actually I should show this is clear first. It's clear. Didn't break the lugs, nothing wrong with the mag. I don't see why it wouldn't feed and fire, so I'm not even gonna run it. I'm gonna call that good. A lot of off-camera speculation going on, guys, about whether dropping the AK directly down onto the mag is a good test of the lugs. And introducing this MOE P mag really kind of started to bring that into question, since that has polymer lugs. So we thought we'd add another test to the process here, and that's going to be dropping the gun. Did I already check this for clear? Clear. Dropping the gun down onto the mag from about shoulder height. Let's see if I can hit the edge of the table. All right. I think we might have just seen a little science. So that definitely pulled. Oh yeah, there you go. So if you do that with your gun, it will break off the rear locking lug off a P-Mag. This is fun breaking mags.
Off an MOE P-Mag.
Off an MOE P-Mag. So polymer. Let's see though. I mean, let's see how one of the steel luggers does.
Well, can you get it back in the gun?
Dude, look at that thing. That's fucked.
Will it lock though?
It's probably like
if there's enough there that'll lock in, it'll function.
I just saw a chunk of plastic come out.
There's so much dirt in this gun. Yeah, it doesn't want to go in. Let me check this and make sure it's clear again. Yeah, it is. I just didn't want. I want to make sure there wasn't enough.
It's locking in. I'll bet it'll run, Pete. Yeah, that's in.
All right. Well, let's check it out. I'm gonna throw ears on. Everybody got ears? Ears.
Ears.
All right, so at this point the lug did break off of the MOEP mag, but kind of locks in still. So we're gonna give it a 5 shots to see how she does. Well, despite shearing off the rear lug, this P-mag still functions. So I guess we're gonna have to put our heads together and see how we're gonna continue with the testing. I think we test some of the steel lug mags and see how they do.
That's the lug.
All right, that was fun. So we're doing it again. We're gonna do the Bulgarian Commercial with the steel lips and steel lugs. Is that good?
Yep.
Did not break. All right. Similar hit though. Similar hit, I'd say. You know what? While we got it in there, let's rack it and see if it still works. See if my stock still works. All right. Ah, yeah, look at that. There's some scratches on that rear, but no damage. All right, so now we're doing the Bulgarian Circle 10, the Ritzy Titsy mag, and I really don't want to do this, but in the name of science. She's in there. Let's put a couple rounds through her. Look at all that dust in there. Put a couple, or gravel. Put a couple rounds through her and see how she does. Runs. Check the lugs. Yep, you can see some scratches on the rear lug, similar to the Commercial Mag. I don't see a little bit of scratches in the front lug. Not sure if those were there before or not, but it runs. Yeah, looks all good. Hit actually a little bit lower too, so a little more leverage on that one, and it still held up. All right, now to the belle of the ball, the Xtech mag. No pressure. Mag fell out. Oh, we've got a monster fail. Look at that. That lug just sheared right off.
I would have to say that's unusable.
Well, we'll find out here. I'm guessing a big fat.
Oh, it's in.
I don't think that's gonna feed.
Can you?
You want to try it?
Can you pop it like that? Underhand pop?
Yeah, you can. So that's where we're at. And compared to what it looks like, or it's supposed to look like, Tony, can you grab me that one out of that chair? So we can continue testing because we have another one. So here's a unmolested Xtech mag versus a drop directly on the magazine Xtech mag. You can see that the steel reinforcement, the polymer actually sheared off, and the steel reinforcement, which is about the size of 3 staples.
Oh yeah, I see now that it's just plastic. It's like steel surrounding
As a
plastic.
comparison to
Now-
that one.
Now the Circle 10 is a full metal tab. Even the Bulgarian Commercial looks like it's a full metal tab. And I think that the Magpul is a full metal tab. So that polymer filled tab will fail under extreme conditions. I'd call that a pretty freaking extreme drop. But I mean, to compare it nose to nose with the Circle 10 on the same test, the Circle 10 did it and the Xtech didn't. So tough to argue with science. All right, so at this point we're down to 3. Even though the Xtech already failed, we're swapping in a pinch hitter Xtech mag just for fun. At this point, only the 2 Bulgarian mags, the Bulgarian Commercial and the Bulgarian Circle 10, have survived the tests, or torture, I guess you could call them. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the hill at the end of the course. I'm going to take these 3 mags. We're, like I said, swapping into the other Xtech just for fun at this point. I'm going to chuck these off the top of the hill, and then we're going to run them out of the AK down to the bottom and see if they can take a good throw.
All right, so we're here at the back of our course, and we're going to have Whisper shooting the magazines over at one of those plates down that way. But first, what he's going to do is have Pistol Pete, who's all the way up on that hill, throw a mag down to the ground to see if it survives, and then get that mag in the gun and fire it off.
Okay, I don't know how good his aim is, so why don't we get
hopefully,
over here?
hopefully Pete will get enough air.
I don't even know if I can make it that far.
Okay, Geronimo. All right, here it comes.
And it's in. That's in play.
Okay, we're in good shape.
And it looks like we have the Bulgarian mag first up.
Yep, that's the Bulgarian.
And it feeds right into the
Feeds
gun.
right in, everything looks good. Dirt out. No problems with feed or function.
All right, mag 1 passes. Here comes mag 2. Oh, it's off to the side, and
Inbounds.
I'm gonna say that's out of bounds.
Really?
It's a little way off.
I don't know. Okay, hey, close to the line.
Leave it there and not get it?
We've displaced the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, that's gonna be an issue right there.
I don't see
It
any
looks like the
damage.
feed lips are good. It's just the rounds popped out.
Okay, let's see.
So maybe if
If
we
you really needed to do something with this, can you just see what it'll do? There we go.
locks in, Circle 10. Here goes Circle 10. Circle 10. And it works.
It works.
So Circle K, I'm gonna say, wait, look at that. Now it's not sitting in there right.
Yeah, we could have damaged without a micrometer here, I don't know, or a caliper. We could have done a little damage to the feed lips. It didn't feel like it didn't run as well as this one did. Let me try and run this again with 5 quick rounds, because it did not feel correctly. Well,
Now
that
let's
worked.
see. Okay, they're back to normal, it looks like. Yeah, we didn't have that separation with the Bulgarian. They both look good still. They're holding up. All right,
okay, last mag.
and here comes, I'm guessing, the Xtech.
Let it rip.
And we got some good air on this one, and it's in, and oh, look at that. Oh,
I'm
look
gonna
at
call
that
the
lie.
best throw yet.
That's an excellent lie.
Let's see what we look like.
And the rounds are all in. Looks good.
Looks good.
Doesn't look like any damage to it.
let's shake it out and run it a bit.
Okay. Well,
knock the dust out.
the Xtech definitely has exceptional aerodynamics.
It does.
Definitely.
That pattern gives it kind of like some kind of a... Woo! Ran.
Okay, it runs. The only problem I had with running was this one. First couple rounds out, and it seemed to run fine after that.
That was a wicked chuck. I mean, that's
Yeah.
everything I got. I don't have a great arm, but I winged it off the top of a hill.
No,
And
I mean
they
it
all
just
ran.
it was a perfect lie.
That one was a good one.
That was perfect, yeah.
The Bulgarian,
Hole in
but
one.
I'm going to give you a handicap on the Bulgarian because you didn't. That was the first throw.
But I mean, you know, if one of them has better aerodynamics, let's just let science spell that out for us. And I think that Xtech does a great job of aerodynamics.
So we did have an issue with that Bulgarian.
But it ran.
It
Yes.
ran, but the rounds did pop out.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's still
Shit,
functional.
well, what else can we do?
Run it over.
So final test, we were doing mag drops before, but now we're going to drop the Chief, which is my Grand Cherokee on these mags. Highly scientific environment that we've got set up. I'll walk you through it. What we're going to do is drive up onto these cinder blocks and then let the tire drop off onto each one of the mags. The three mags that are left in play are the Bulgarian Commercial, the Pinch Hitter Xtech, and the Bulgarian Circle 10. One thing to keep in mind is we went back and forth on this, guys. We decided to put 5 rounds in each one of these mags. That way the ammo isn't like acting as a structural part of the mag, and that way if it's going to crack, it'll crack, but that way we can also test it after and we'll run some rounds through them and make sure that they still fire after getting run over. So that being said, let's run them over.
Perfect. That's 2 hits on that. There you go. Perfect.
All right, so we just ran over the mags. We got 5 rounds in each one. We're gonna take a quick look at each one, and then Alpha Cat is gonna do run out the last 5 rounds to see if they work. First one up is gonna be the Bulgarian Commercial. Looks like it got scratched up pretty good from getting run over. Although it doesn't seem to have cracked or anything. There's plenty of dust in there. Let's see if it runs. Still fits in. Sideways style. So that's a pass for the Bulgarian Commercial. Up next, the Xtech. It's got some scratches on it and stuff, but not bad. No cracks or anything like that. I don't see why it wouldn't run. One, two, three, four, 5, it ran. And the tried and true Bulgarian Circle 10 magazine, a little scratched up, but no worse for the wear. No damage to the lips or anything like that, so I bet you it'll run. Never know. Hit! Cool, so all of them took the run over test. Cool guys, I hope you enjoyed watching that video as much as we did shooting it. We had a blast. In fact, afterwards we were talking about other videos like that we could do. The problem is we're not monetized, so all this stuff comes out of our pocket, so we can't necessarily afford to, like, you know, smash up a perfectly good gun. It's just not economically viable for us. But that being said, we are open to ideas. So guys, if you have ideas, stuff you'd like to see torture tested, or ways we could do it better, put those in the comments below. Interested to see that. Also, you know, if there's any manufacturers or vendors out there who have the cojones to have us test their stuff, I'm open to that. Reach out, let us know. We'd be interested in hearing that too. What I thought I would do to just kind of close out this video is go through and summarize the performance of these mags, because now that we've screwed around with these mags a little bit, I think it's worth talking about kind of what we saw and what my gut feel was around each one of these, with an eye towards value. Because at the Spent Brass channel, we're always trying to figure out, you know, where good value purchases are. And in this case, you know, let's start things out from low to high. We're going to start with the Magpul mag. This is the M3, but I'll talk about the MOE mag that we screwed around with too. I'm going to call these the losers of the day, and there's a couple reasons why. I think that you know, the lack of reinforced feed lips on the M3 mag in that kind of mid-range premium magazine segment is a fail. I think the fact that the metal detached from the polymer body inside of it is a fail. You know, I would not recommend these mags. Are they good enough to, you know, use for range use or use for a training class or even running guns? Absolutely, guys. You know, a small drop isn't going to like shatter this mag. But the reality is that there are more durable options for the money. Both in that low segment, that MOE segment, I think that $10 range, I think there's better options. And in this mid-range, there's better options. So sorry, Magpul, but you're getting a thumbs down from me. I'm not even going to really talk about how they can, that's pretty much it. I wouldn't recommend these. There's better options. See you, Magpul. Stick to the AR mags. You guys are killing it over there. That brings us to the Xtech. I think the Xtech is going to get a thumbs up for me. But I think that there are some ways that they can improve the mag. So the MSRP on this is 28 bucks. They have some deals going that put this in the teens. Starting out, I think they're trying to, you know, just get people out there to adopt the product and try it out. So I would recommend it if you're going to try these, get them while they have that special code. It brings them into like a really good value range. That being said, I think that there are some ways that they could improve these mags. I think that the first thing is, you know, the failure point that we had, it was pretty extreme, but this rear locking lug is polymer with a light amount of steel wrapped around it. I think if you guys were able to go to a solid steel or even a thicker steel wraparound on this rear lug, you know, if you really want to be the best mag company, I think that that would probably be one of the things to do. Couple other things. I didn't really necessarily have a problem with the width of this mag, but Alpha Cat has smaller hands than I did, and he kept complaining about kind of the bulkiness of the mag. So, and I tend to agree with him, I guess. It wouldn't hurt for this mag to be a little bit slimmer. So if you can slim the mag down in the body a little bit and still retain the rigidity, I think that that would be probably a good way to increase it too. Another thing, guys, that I think would be really unique is if you included a bolt hold open follower on these. That would be a really cool way to differentiate yourselves, and if you were able to change those three things, I think you would probably have easily one of the best magazines on the market. This is already a really good mag, and I would definitely recommend it, you know, but overall I think there's ways you still could improve, so there's some feedback for you. Guys, quick update. I was actually in touch with Jeremy from Xtech, and he caught me in time before I put the video out. They're actually going to be offering a bolt hold open option for their mags on their website, so keep an eye out for that. That's pretty cool, you know, to be able to have that option. I think it's going to be a couple extra bucks or a few extra bucks, but kind of nice to, you know, not have to buy the extra ones, ship them, do it yourself. So way to listen to what the market's saying, guys at Xtech, and keep up the good work. That brings us to the tried and true Bulgarian Circle 10 mag. This guy survived the day with no failures. We used the same mag through all the tests, and this mag is going right back into my go-to mag stash. So that's pretty sweet. My big complaint is these cost like 40 bucks. That's not cheap, right? That's kind of puts these in a different league. So if money's not an option, or sorry, if money's not an object, go with the Circle 10 mags, guys. They're extremely durable, way beyond what they need to be for durable. These are definitely a shit hit the fan ready. These rock. They're great. They're 40 or 45 bucks. If you're buying 10 of them, that's like a lot of dough. That brings us to a pretty interesting option, okay? And I think the winner of the day. I'm really excited about this. This is the Bulgarian Commercial Mag with the steel reinforced lugs and lips. This mag passed all the tests. This mag is gonna go into my mag stash to be used at running guns and stuff like that, even after all the tests. And you can see, let's see if I can get this on film, you can see how dug up the mag is. It's got some digs in it. We really beat the crap out of this thing, way beyond what, you know, is reasonable. And it still survived. The thing is, this mag cost, I think these are 15 bucks right now. So I'm probably, before I upload this video, I'm probably going to order some more of these before everybody catches on to how good they are. because I have a lot of the older Bulgarian commercial mags which have polymer front and rear lugs. Honestly, for like when you can get them for $10, they're a good buy because they're probably a better option than like a Magpul MOE, and they're dead reliable. But they can break, and you can break those lugs off. So taking that design and adding the steel locking lugs is pretty epic, and they've really got a huge winner on their hands right here, especially when you look at the value equation. For the price of these at like $15, it might not be a bad idea to maybe try some bolt hold open followers and really have like a top quality mag for not that much money. So hope you guys found this as interesting and fun as we did. Like, comment, subscribe. Remember, we're giving away one of these Xtech mags to our subscribers, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and if you're in a free state, we'll send this out to you, whoever wins. Thanks for tuning in to the Spent Brass channel. We'll catch you guys next time.